Hello everyone, for the first time this series we're gonna I'm gonna make show my face, okay? So go! No, not that. Get that out of here. Man, this feels so awkward here. I don't have any lighting device or anything. I'm just filming in this freaking iPad that doesn't even have good quality. It's not even in like 2014 or something. I'm using it in 2018. Wow, how topical. So today we're going to be basically talk about the year by year history of the United States. Every year we do not miss any year. No years are missed in this episode. First of all, I only done like 6 episodes about the USA out of like the 20 episode I have. And second of all, this is my freaking channel. I could like upload whatever the heck I want or whatever I feel like or something. No, I'm okay, maybe I am. I don't know. I don't even know myself, so who knows. No, what the heck anyways. But in all honesty, I do want to bring back more international video. Like, what if Earth is secretly Mars in the sky? Anyway, as I was saying before that, I don't know who that guy that was talking was before, was saying, today we're going to basically talk about the entire year by year history of the USA. But not the entire, except for, I'm a liar. But however, we're not actually gonna talk about the entire history of the USA, because if we do, it will literally turn longer than a Shane Dawson documentary, and actually that would kind of be pretty dope. Inside the mind of United States, it's probably just obesity and crap. So we're not actually going to be talking about the entire history of the USA. We're only going to be talking about the major events and events that doesn't go before 1700s. Because first of all, the events there isn't really that memorable, and there isn't that much notable stuff that happened. And second of all, I don't want it to be long. Since this series is going to be very, very long, we're not going to have enough time to talk about all of them in one video. So we're going to have to split them into like 3 videos because it's just that long. So we're basically going to be splitting it into 3 parts. The first part being the 1700s, which is this video, because why the heck not? The second one, which is about the 1800s, as you guess, which will, knowing me, will probably come out in like a decade. And the final video, which is going to be about the 1900s and maybe the 2000s, but not a lot happened in 2000. It's just like plane crashes and crap. So that video will probably come out in like 525,600 years. So let's begin the video. Before we begin, let's just talk about early history that wouldn't really necessarily be connected to this video because it's after the 1700s, but I feel like it's important enough to put on the US history video. So old enough, which is the first settler, which is Jesus. I'm just kidding, we actually don't know, but we're just gonna say it's Native American because they're native. Most people don't actually know where the Native American come from. They could have come from like space or the underground, who knows? But most people assume that they come from Eurasia through the land bridge that connects the US to Eurasia. Or they could be Jesus, like both works, I guess. A bunch of period causes a bunch of Native Americans to arrive, and including the Navajo and the Apache were also some of the first settlers to go across the US ancestral descent. A bunch of Native Americans started to basically build the Pueblo, the Mississippi Mound, and weird-shaped heads. Christopher Columbus, the Spanish slave, then quote-unquote discovered America, and it's definitely not Hispaniola, it's definitely India. And soon, the European went and gave everyone disease, and everyone got died from AIDS or something. And then the Europeans were like, oh look, there's definitely no one that live here. It's definitely not like the Native American that died from smallpox that's been transferred because we don't have enough quote-unquote protection source. And then the British tried to take, but they failed, and then soon the Dutch and then Dutch discovered New York, so they named it New Netherlands. There was soon the Wabanaki Confederacy and the basic Iroquois that came, and a bunch of rebellion came. Now let's start the history in the 1700s. Located by the Pacific Ocean, earthquake happened, probably killing everyone, I don't know. And soon in 1701, the Queen's Dance will occur. In 1702, the Royal Colony of New Jersey established by Queen Anne from separate provinces. Continue in 1703, the Great Storm of 1703 in Atlantic Ocean across eastern northern USA started to continue, probably also killing everyone. Remember the Queen's answer that I literally just talked about in like 10 or 20 seconds ago? It was still continuing in 1704 at Deerfield, Massachusetts, where it's being attacked by French and Indian force, with probably everyone being killed. Actually, it's only like 56 or something. Now, I know I said I'm gonna cover the entire history of the USA after the 1700s. Well, I'm a freaking liar because we're just gonna pass 1705 to 1709 because just like my channel, nothing interesting happened there. Now, we're just gonna skip to 1710 where the British troops began a day's siege on the French fort and Fort Royal is being put on Nova Scotia. In 1711, the Tuskegee War began propagating over North, and soon in 1712, the New York Slave Revolt happened, which is a revolt across New Yorkers that have been enslaved by the British. So they basically fight, and a bunch of people got arrested, and 9 whites died. Skipping like 4 more years in 1716, the first theater and colony opened in business in Williamsburg, Virginia. And soon in 1718, the French colonists under the government of French colony of Louisiana Jean-Baptiste led, I don't freaking know, when French Mississippi colony founded New Orleans. In 1719, Louisiana being viewed from Mobile captured Pensacola. I hope it doesn't get taken by the Spanish. Oops, the Spanish literally just took it. Oh no. In 1720, Villanzar quits life and go on expedition on the Spanish troops and leave Mexico bye-bye on a mission to control increasing presence of French in the wilderness. The Great Wilderness. In 1721, I have no idea if I'm saying this right, Adrian de Pucci arrived in, God, everything happened in New Orleans, to decide to a city plan. And soon in 1722, the Declaration of War occurred in the year between New England colonists and the Wabanaki Confederacy. In 1730, Virginia decided to pass on the Tobacco Inspection Act of 1730 because apparently their weed is not good enough. They probably said that on weed, I don't know. And they need better weed and drugs and all those crack to basically become a crackhead. Choose your leader. Oh, you choose Oglethorpe? Okay, now you are granted as the Royal Charter for Georgia Colony. Are you excited? No? Okay, sure. In 1733, the Molasses Act was put. Oglethorpe founded in Savannah, Georgia, Royal Colony of U.S. Commission. Cool. Pop quiz, what do you call a burger that lives in Georgia? That's right, Salzburger, which arrived and lived on the mouth of the Savannah River in Georgia. No, not inside the Savannah River. Okay, maybe they were on a ship or a boat or something. Or maybe they're Jesus, both work, I guess. In 1735, the freedom of the peer recognized New York after the trial of Jean Peter Jurger. And soon in 1738, the Anglican minister George Whitefield arrived for his first of 7 visits to North America, becoming the first predominant preacher. In 1741, the War of Jenkins' Ear ended, closing Elias, Alaska, sighted by a Danish captain Vitus Bering, and also Thomas von Plymouth Colony was being told by the exact rock that lures his father. I know, I don't understand it anyway, but... In 1749, the Georgian trustee decided to do something that they didn't thought of like 20 years ago. The Georgian trustee decided to petition against Parliament to overturn original ban against slavery in Old Rose Colony, but again, it's in the South, in the history, I can't really blame it. Now in 1751, Georgia decided to prepare against transition from the trustee to the British colonial provinces. It's kind of ironic because I don't trust the trustees. Continuing 1751, Philadelphia, which if you don't know is in Pennsylvania, which if you don't know is in the USA, which if you don't know is in the Earth, which if you don't know is in the world, which if you don't know is in the galaxy, which if you don't know is in the universe, which if you don't know... You're freaking retarded. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Hospital was the first hospital in America colony to be chartered in Pina Revolt across the Arizona and Mexico Revolt. Now you're most likely using these technology and electrical device to basically watch these stupid videos or text your stupid girlfriend or whatever. Well, all these electricity originated back in 1752 where the lightning rod was basically invented by Franklin. No, Franklin did not invent the lightning. He invented the lightning rod, which Franklin decided to go on a freaking suicidal mission and basically take a lightning rod and then put it on a kite and a key and decide to fly in electricity. What could ever possibly go wrong? I don't know. Well, what could ever possibly happen after the lightning rod was invented? Well, in 1753, the Board of Trade was used to trade, but was also used to end the direct analysis of the colonial government of northern state. And in 1754, the Battle of Fort Necessity was a necessity, and in southwest Pennsylvania was built for southern supplies. Battle of French and Indian supplied peace document allowed Washington withdrawal and surrender of the fort. In 1755, the decision to relocate Acadians from the Nova Scotia was put on by the French settlement of Louisiana. And soon in 1756, grab your popcorn because the French and Indian War started, yay! The completely useless and lucky holiday, St. Patrick's Day, anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day, was celebrated in USA, specifically New York City for the first time. In 1757, the French captured Fort William Henry after a 6-day siege uprising in New York as a slave from British. And in 1760, the Great Fire of Bell Boston, Massachusetts happened, it was a great fire. In 1761, the Anglo-Cherokee War happened. In 1762, France ceded from Louisiana to Spain because the Spain decided to be a jerk and make a Spanish rule of the 38 year. In 1763, the French and Indian War officially ended due to ceding of Canada and American through the English. There's gonna be a new movie coming soon, and soon in 1764, the Sugar Act was put by the British because the British was angry at the Americans for not paying their taxes properly, so they implanted tax across all Sugar Act. At least no one's gonna get diabetes. The Britain decided to tax more act because they wanted more money and tariff and taxes and more of these craps. So they decided to put more act, including the most infamous stamp act. If you put any paper product, they will stamp it and increase the tax, including your McDonald's recipe, stamp, your school textbook, stamp, a paper that said don't stamp this paper, stamp, school iOS paper, stamp, notes, stamp, a literal stamp. The British soon also passed Quartering Act, which is a law because you need security, so they passed Act for that. And soon in 1766, it was repealed along with the Stamp Act, so you no longer have to pay taxes for those unwanted permissions, the crap. The British decided why not put more act on it, so they then decided to put the Townshend Act, which enacted more pink glass and lead products to increase in taxes. Yay, more tax. And soon in 1770, the Boston Massacre occurred and the Townshend Act was repealed. We now reach one of the greatest change to U.S. history in the 1770s. Now in 1771, the mission of St. Gabriel in, St. Gabriel, California is founded by Father Pedro Cambra, and Angel, probably Jesus, Zamora has basically closed the gap between the establishment of mission at San Antonio. New York decided they need more money, so they decided to publish the first ever newspaper in the Presco of Albany. Now, a year passed by. In 1772, the first independent Anglo-American government was founded by the Watauga Association of East Tennessee, where a bunch of settlers decided to settle across the Watauga River for protection against other Native Americans, or like Shaggy, or everybody in the world. So they decided to isolate themselves. Also, this guy named Samuel Adams decided to write the whole entire Right of Colonists document. In 1773, the House Not a Board Game of Berkey's in the colony of Virginia react strongly against the British policy by setting up a committee across the contact across other colonies. They issued the Virginia Resolution establishing a committee of correspondence. Hey Americans, do you like tea? Well, we are the British and we decided we need to tax all tea because the tea is our property from the Queen, okay? So we decided to tax every single tea you have. Every single one, the no exception. Oh no, wait, that one you could have it. But however, the tea, everyone. So the Boston decided to get mad and they threw a temper tantrum and waste a bunch of tea by throwing them in the Boston Harbor. In 1774, the British Parliament decided to close the Boston Tea Party port, which probably have infected most sea animals. What happens when fish drinks tea? That's the question of the day. Top 10 question that no scientist can solve. Oh, you thought the British is over when it comes to taxing? Well, heck no. The British still have much more taxing to do. It's like Mr. Crab will do everything for money. At the same year in 1774, the Intolerable Act is intolerable, but it also includes a Re-establishment of Currency Act requiring all the colonists and the British soldiers to be kept at home. Colonists and rebellion decide to, rebel. The First Continental Congress is held in the Carpenter Court in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, protesting in the Intolerable Act after the Congress has attended across all colonies except Georgia for some reason. It was petitioned by King George to stop new regulation at Massachusetts and called from the civil disobedience. In 1776, nothing happened. I'm just kidding. In 1776, you know what war happened. No, it's not the War of 1812. The Declaration of Independence happened from the Thomas Jefferson and his committee, which approved of the Second Continental Congress of the USA. And one followed by 3-7, General Washington decided to put the first 7,000 men on the Continental Army, defeating British General Charles Cornwallis at Princeton, New Jersey. And soon, the Continental Congress decided what would be a good flag design proposal. I choose, no, not that one, no, not that one, no, not that one, no. Oh, that one. That one's the perfect flag for the Continental American symbolism, stars and stripes. In 1778, this physician decided to meet up with the Continental Congress in York, Pennsylvania, and directed him to join General Washington at the encampment of Valley Forge. And France decided to sign the Treaty of Amity and Commerce, with the U.S. officially recognizing it as a new nation. Reaching the end of the 1770s, the Fort Sackville at Vincennes, Indiana, is surrounded by the British troop under the command of the British Lieutenant Governor Henry Hamilton. Entering a new decade in the 1780s, Charleston, South Carolina fall to British after the effective siege. Also, French troops set the first foot on American soil on Newport, Rhode Island, which is where like all the cigars are made. Let's get back to the Watauga River. A march happened in Sycamore at the Watauga River. The Watauga River is so full of people and controlled by one single troop that everyone else is like the troop. But however, these loyal troops that have been fighting for the Britain are beaten at the Battle of King Mountain by the Over Mountain men who killed the opposing leader, British Major General Patrick Ferguson. In 1781, the British troop under the control of Lord Cornwallis gained a costly sweet victory at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse in North Carolina. Also, the Bank of North America is incorporated in Philadelphia by an act of Congress to help stabilize insurance of paper currency. In 1782, the Bank of North America opened and the official finance recommended the official decimal coin. Out of all of the animal, all of the creature, which shall you choose, Congressman? Oh, what about we choose the quote-unquote definitely bald eagle, the ball of bravery? Adopt it. In 1783, the Congress ratified the preliminary peace treaty ending the Revolutionary War, and also in 1784, the Congress ratified the peace treaty between the British and the USA. In 1786, the Treaty of Hopewell was signed between the Confederation Congress of the U.S. and the Indian Nation of Choctaw in southwestern state, and also 5 state delegates in a meeting in Annapolis, Maryland, for a Congress to hold a convention in Philadelphia in order to write a constitution for all 13 states. In 1788, the state continues to ratify more states to the Union. Soon in 1789, Washington is elected as the first president of the USA Hall by the Electoral College and Federal Hall, New York City Congress. The Bill of Rights is submitted and the Federal Judiciary Act is passed. And soon in 1790, the State of the Union address given by Washington. Washington approved the President's bill. In 1791, the first bank of U.S. charter in Philadelphia, Vermont became the 14th state. That's right. Vermont is not part of the 13th state. That's a common misconception. Don't tell me. You thought Vermont was once a part of the 13th state. The U.S. Post Office Department was being established, and New York Stock Exchange is also being established. U.S. Executive Marston White House District of Columbia was being established. A bunch of stuff is being established. In 1793, the U.S. State Congress passed the federal law requiring slaves to return to their own original from the slave state into the free territory. And in 1794, the cotton gin was being invented by Eli Whitney, and also the Whiskey Rebellion and G.A.'s Treaty is signed. In 1795, Wayne signed a peace treaty with Indiana on Fort Greenville, Ohio, ending the hostile. And the Treaty of Madrid, is signed, and also U.S. purchased the peace treaty with Tunis and Algiers. In 1796, Tennessee was being admitted as the 16th state, and U.S. State Department issued the first passport. In 1797, the Treaty of Tripoli. In 1798, Mississippi Territory established among parts of Georgia and South Carolina. And finally, in 1799, the first printed ballot in U.S. was being printed in Pennsylvania. Every paper is being printed at Pennsylvania. So there you go. That's the whole entire 1700s video. I'm pretty sure not the entire, but it's the major part in the 1700s. Stay tuned for the 1800s. There's much more in the 1800s. 1700s is just the start. And oh boy, the 1900s is even more hectic. This took me a long time to write. So please make sure to subscribe. I still have no subscriber. Why?